Anyway, yeah, so we're just simulating basically the monthly to 4 hour approach. So, yeah, I guess you could call it that. Where you're basically determining the monthly post direction and then the prices, what, or rather the intent, what's poised to prevail from the prices what are available as of the monthly close based on the like trend that's unfolding relative to the monthly intent over past consecutive bars, right? And then whatever that direction is, seeing whether the 2 week is poised to keep pushing in that direction, or for example, set up in the monthly appropriate fashion. 2 seconds. Oh god, sorry. Okay. So, don't have a drink, but it's okay. So yeah, so like if you think right, if you're doing this just for the key time period of 7 and 8, like the hour, and then simulating the 1 hour bars, the monthly, and the therefore half the 1 hour is the 30. Sorry, half the 1 hour is the 2 week because that's half of the month, and then obviously half of that is a week, half of that's 15, and then you then drop to the 4 day, and you kind of really half 7, so just round it up. So like for example half that, so I just rounded 7.5 up to 10. You can't even get 7, you can't even get half minute time periods, I don't think. I'm not even gonna bother trying, but yeah. And then half of 10 it would be the 2 day, which is 5. I guess you could look at at 6, but there's no need for that anyway. Half of and then the 3 minutes would be the daily, and then the 1 minute I'm classifying as the 4 hour. So this would be like looking at the daily, and then basically you would just, well, yeah, you just drop to the 1 minute, and then you'd see how it would be most appropriate to look for the 1 minute to set up like to get on board with that post direction, right? So this would be just like looking at the 4 hour, and this was pretty damn nice. Oh my god, I'm always. Uh, well, this will. I knew this will be funny to look back on. So yeah, this is the 1 minute. I'm thinking of getting Cormax data. Okay, I'm joking a bit there. I'm thinking of getting Cormax data, and then being able to look at the bar formations. But like I think I'll look at this on the Euro too potentially, because I know that those instruments can be traded on that time frame, and then that opens up the possibility for futures, right? Because like that would be they're the most optimal time frames. And anyway, you kind of want to be in and out and done business anyway. You don't want to be sat on your fucking hands all day. I'm sick of it, to be fair. And plus, it's getting a bit bored. It's getting a bit like, I don't know. I don't think it's diminishing, but like I mean, I haven't had any good trades since like November, So, uh, yeah, I will just see, but because I've got a lot of data on the euro and the pound for like starting off in your monthly, determining in that direction, points to prevail primarily over a month, and then dropping down to the weekly if you're on FX replay, and then the daily, and then like that's like your main time frame for the session, like for 7 till 10, which would be a key time period, determining the points direction, points to prevail over 7 in the morning, um, and then get positioned on side to the most probable direction poised to prevail based on the daily intended trades end player and push, likely to keep pushing or not, which we decipher by analysing the intent comprising the daily push. Same for the 12, the 9, the 8, then the 4, the 3, and basically just keep determining like how each time frame set up, and then dropping to the 1 hour, and then seeing how would be most appropriate to see that 1 hour chart perspective setup like to get in position with, or rather get align yourself with the most probable direction that, for example, the daily 9, 8, 4, 3, and 2 price to push in, and yeah, they're looking for the 1 hour to set up appropriately accordingly. Um, and that might entail, for example, looking for a 1 hour. Actually, yeah. So once you've determined the price direction, you drop to the 1 hour and then see the 1 hour situation at hand, just like what we're doing here, just like what you do in the 4 hour. Once you've done your procedure, once you've underwent your protocols and you've concluded what's likely to unfold, basically a process of deductive reasoning, as Mark Douglas called it, um, which is very darn true, and very very darn good. I don't know why I'm saying darn, but yeah, very good. A very good darn description. Okay, and yeah, so anyway, yeah, for real, it's good. Good analogy. No, not a good analogy. Good description. And yeah, and then basically there'd be two things to look for. You look for the 1 hour to set appropriately, which would, for example, it could be like if you don't need a retrace, it would just be a nice 1 hour bar close. If it was sat at the highs of it, pushed to the upside relative to the initial dictatory time frame, as I call it, on the GUEU strat for 7 and 10. Um, what was I gonna say? Um, yeah, and you'd analyze the intended trade relative to that time frame, and like so obviously from the prices what are available from 7, you've determined how they're poised to be interacted with from like over the 9, the 8, the 4, the 3, the even the daily and the weekly too, backing everything up together. And um you would then want to see how it would be most appropriate to see the 1 hour chart perspective setup like, because you wouldn't want to be buying the highs of a 1 hour push to the upside that could retrace, and if it was kind of an iffy bias, it could easily gain strength and build momentum and grow, build upon its retrace and get bigger, like aka build momentum, right? Um, so then you might want to see a 1 hour bar close, or if it was very like biased for participants to based on how they've traded like up to 7 and structured the way the in-play and pushes are set up like, and how their trajectories are set to keep pushing like based on the intent exhibited up to that time frame. I mean, I'm saying that with looking at this. So the intent to trade from here to here, it's not set up to push anywhere near up the sort of like arcing out. You see the arc only start to really unfold from like here, right? And then here again, like the contextual position of where market participants traded the way they did after trading in the fashion where we've seen them to do so up to this point, and then seeing them trade in this fashion kind of suggests that they're no longer willing to keep buying, right? So you're just flowing with the behavior, like continuously, on goes, right? And then here, the trajectory is kind of like it's nearing its days, let's say, or whatever the phrase is. And then here it's like it's a retrace. Like participants are no longer willing to continue buying at these prices. And I would say the retrace is likely coming just like here. It doesn't gain its momentum and keeps coming about here. And then about here-ish, yeah. And why do you know? Comes about there. Anyway, yeah, so we'd want to see the market set up appropriately by pushing to this region. And then we would... So this is basically assimilating the 4 hour. Yeah, I would get in there. That's sufficient enough. Right, so then what you do is you mark up. So it would be here. And this would be your R10 push range low. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go back onto my old account and Discord and have a look at Blue Line SL method, because like I used to do it so well. Like I mean, you know, you mark your blue line, and then you look at the most recent price action to the left. All this is sus, because you wouldn't want to stop there because it easily could come lower. So to be fair, I would probably just say like, no, actually, this is probably blue line SL method. Actually, yeah, I would probably just say here, like this would be a good cut off. So you would have you would play. Obviously, you wouldn't see this. Like you wouldn't see what's to the left. Your stop would be about here. Actually, it's kind of a bit extensive. Like you wouldn't want to stop there. You wouldn't want it there. You could maybe just put it. Maybe put it about there. Yeah, I would just put it about there. Definitely no more, because that's still quite iffy. But you also like basing it on the situation at hand too, like the market auction situation at hand. You might not even get your 1-to-1 actually, even with this. We'll see. Yeah, you do actually. Okay, that's good. Oh, so the next boy, like, I don't think it'd be unless you use limits. But then, how would you know like what lot size to order? Like, you'd have to be so quick, you know. It's kind of a recipe for disaster actually, unless you had the magic keys thing sorted. If I get that sorted, then yeah, this would be feasible. So I'm gonna get that sorted now actually. But then anyway, yeah, this was. I guess you would get a chance to enter there, but still, you couldn't do manual execution. Like it would be far too stressful. And what's good about the 1 hour, this 1 hour strategy, like this like may as well be the monthly, like, and the 4 hour, this may as well be the 4 hour, right? Um, yeah, like, yeah, it's pretty darn it's pretty nice. And then I'm pretty sure, like, we were bearish biased for London for the first hour of London. But if we're looking at this, if this was the 4 hour and we want to see the market set up at 8 as of 8 at the start of the month, we'd want to retrace to around here, right? Or rather the 60% region. And then nice block close and then sell. But it just went off the bat. But you would still be looking for sells, right? Actually, no, you wouldn't because it closed in entirely. Never mind. Yeah, no, we wouldn't be. But if even let's just actually let's just see what would have happened if. I mean, this is why you stick to the bias thing, and then you just go straight on to the next month. But like, so we'll see what happens here. Yeah, so you would have actually got in here. Gonna have to sort my fib out after this because that is ugly as hell. But because like I would be interested to trade these time frames. Like actually, to be fair, like just based on like futures, I kind of want to get into them. But yeah, you would. This would. Yeah, I'd look at this and then look to the left. Wouldn't really want to stop there. I think this would actually end up being a win, but it's like I don't know. Like you probably want if you looked at this zone. And here you maybe just want it at the 50% mark, so you could have your stop at the 50% mark, and then your playable range would be of course relative to this. So I'm gonna have to also let's sort this out quickly. We'll just do the color. Oops. Blue. No. The green. This. Actually, you know what? Oh, no. I'll just keep it normal. Keep everything the same. But in this and 5. Yeah. Nice. And yeah, you got a playable range, right? For like this bar form is nice. At a playable range, but with the appropriate stop loss, there's no way you're getting a thingy. So what you do is you go to the point where you would. and you would definitely need magic keys to this, which would be there. And then you would enter, and then you'd get an immediate. That would be just beautiful. And you could do this on gold too. That would just be absolutely beautiful, and very quick too. And it's this. It would just be the same as the 4 hour, but actually feasible, right? Because like, of course you'd have to be up and ready. You would have to be up at about 6:20 to be fair, which means no messing around like after work, like just straight to bed, like maybe eat something, but not else. Yeah, and then you see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty darn nice. But yeah, this is basically the 4 hour. This was only yesterday too. So I'm not gonna do another video, but like I might do that. Like yeah, I'll do. No, I'm not gonna do another video. So yeah, that's it.